Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I pray that everyone is having a blessed, wonderful morning this morning on this Sunday. I just wanted to come in real quickly. I had two water days yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but Friday, water park with the babies. And then here we are yesterday, which was Saturday, um, to the beach and everything. Got home in time before it started pouring down raining. It was an early, early day for me, and I went by myself, y'all. Yes, I did. The beach is everything. If you don't get to do anything this summer, go away, go on vacation, go on a trip, um, to the Virgin Islands or whatever, to those nice clear water beaches. Um, Take yourself to your own local beach and just spend the day there. Get out early and just enjoy the beach. It's everything. It's just everything. But I wanted to come with you this morning to chat with you, and I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel, my new subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you for stopping in and checking out my channel. And like I say to you, I'm not a real blogger. I'm just a R. Kelly supporter, and I'm just out here to be one of the voices out here to um advocate for the injustice that has been served to Robert Sylvester Kelly. Um, Most of you are familiar with what went on about his trial, and some of you may not be familiar about some of the things that took place around his trial. That Robert Sylvester Kelly was sentenced to 30 years um in federal prison for misconduct with women, and also his misconduct with supposedly been minors at the women that been minors at the time, that he used his oh sorry musical career to do illegal acts, as far as taking people, young women underage, over state lines to have sex with them, and also abusing his power to allure young women to go to bed with him, and also to get a chance at their music careers or whatever else they were inspiring in. So this is what they're saying, but that's not what I believe, and I'm not going to believe it, because before anybody got close to Robert Sylvester Kelly, they had to be checked um out through some background, and also if their ages were legal and all that other stuff. Just like when you go look for a job, a lot of documents have to be in place before you get the job. It depends on what kind of job you're getting, like being bonded, fingerprinted, background check, and all of that stuff. So I don't believe that these young ladies that were with Robert Sylvester Kelly were with him because of those reasons that he was may having them have um sex with him and do all kind of kinky things in the bed with him before they would get a chance to be a background singer or part of his entourage or be in his band or whatever. I just don't I just don't get with that story. I'm sorry. We come too far with technology and all kind of other things that we can get information to us as quick as possible if we are dealing with anyone who is not supposed to be where they supposed to be. Okay, if anyone's lying about their age or whatever, there's a way that people can find out this information as soon as possible, so there wouldn't be a problem we'll have to deal with in the future. So I don't believe that Robert Sylvester Kelly had any knowings of who was in his band working with him during traveling and his concerts and things like that nature. I don't believe anybody was underage, and especially if they went to the bedroom. Okay. I don't believe they were underage, and they lied about giving fake ID, and some of them even testified they lied. So there shouldn't be any reason why he should be going through all of this. And the sentencing was, like, to me, too over they overreached, and I guess they were looking for an outcry from audience of all his fans for we can get crazy out here and do crazy things, and then they can really have a reason to say, look, this is why we wanted to shut down his music. This is why we wanted to lock him away because this man makes things that makes people. But no, we've been holding strong and doing what we need to do to help fight against the injustice for Robert Sylvester Kelly. I'll say most of us have. Now, there's just some people you just can't control people, how they gonna feel about their favorite artists and who they support and who they like. You just like I said before, you can't stop people from feeling the way they do. Only time it's gonna end is when they're ready for it to end, but not when you're ready to end it for them. So it just make matters worse. So anyway, moving on, and especially those of us that are adults who's been following this man's music career from the time he started in being the greatest R&B artist out there in the music industry, produced, wrote, and whatever, even for other artists. And even some other artists have admitted themselves that they miss R. Kelly, writing music and everything for them because it's not the same without him. And I don't know that is this a way to just punish people who this is a way, I'm sorry, not to punish, but this is a way to get other artists out there to be recognized for their work. But people gonna like who they gonna like. Point blank, period. And excuse me. And I don't think anybody is gonna get as much love the way Robert Sylvester Kelly. Now, I understand that the young people today that are Chris Brown lovers of his music and everything, but this is their time. And it's okay to be that way. It's okay, but still in all, I don't think he has reached the measures yet where Robert Sylvester Kelly is. And I'm just going to keep it real. And I don't know if he ever will. The way this world is being taught today and their conduct in music today is a totally different time when Robert Sylvester Kelly and I was growing up, and what we were taught by the greats and what they taught us as entertainers in and as far as in the music world, this was a different generation. So people have a totally way of mindset today that is totally different from the mindset we had as when we were coming up watching some of the great other music artists that have paved the way, those who paved the way. Even Robert Sylvester Kelly said it himself, like those who paved the way for him, like Stevie Wonder, The Temptations, Marvin Gaye, Michael Jackson, um, the Isley Brothers. Of course, he's not going to forget them. They probably was one of his favorite groups listening to back in the days, growing up as a young boy. Music that was played probably in his home life, and it just takes him back to what he could remember my mom used to play, loved to listen to the Temptations, or my mom used to love to listen to Motown and Tammy Terrell and all these other greats that came along the way to bring great music to us, going through what we were going through at that time. So that's the same way I feel about Robert Sylvester Kelly's music of what I was doing during the times he was singing Bump and Grind, um, Sex Me Baby, and all his other greatest hits that he has made throughout his career, 12 Play, um, Reloaded, all of that. Like it's so many of them. It's just so many great, great songs I came up, not came up, but been listening to, as a young woman at the time when everybody was out there just trying to get hooked up with somebody, and try to settle down with somebody or try to have a family with somebody or whatever in those times. And his music was always great, to me it is. Even the stuff that, supposed to get you to the bedroom, even that stuff. But as I was saying before, like about Chris Brown today, because people talking about these versus battles, and let me tell you about these versus battles. It's not really supposed to be, it was just like music to bring you back to these great singers, artists during the time when you were listening to them. So it's really not a competition to be in with anybody, but what artist was your favorite R&B artist during this time when they were out? It's not really a battle against who was the best, but everybody have their certain likings of music, and it's okay. I'm R&B all the way. I love me some R&B music. If it was a great song back then that I was listening to, I am going to celebrate that song. I am going to enjoy continually listening to it, and that includes Robert Sylvester Kelly. The thing that I'm on this fight against is that it's not even about his music anymore. It's really about the injustice that they did to this man is really what bothers me and what right now got me ticked off. And why I support him during this trial of his life. I support him because it wasn't done in the right way, and they lied some more, and they still trying to get away with telling lies, and they getting away with doing illegal lynchings to artists and to people that they just want to cover up the truth, the truth. So I don't want to get so worked up and I'm bent out of shape. I'm trying to proceed with caution of what I'm saying here to you because I know the government be watching our videos and be roaming around on these YouTube streets to see what kind of other information that they can gather and discoveries that they can get on Robert Sylvester Kelly. And some of the things they trying to use against him is the things we speak about out here on these YouTube streets. So we have to proceed with caution. We have to be careful about how we are bringing content around Robert Sylvester Kelly, what we're saying, and be careful of what you're saying and what you're putting out there. And I say this time and time again. All right, you want to roast and drag or whatever his alleged victim women and everything, but still be careful about who you drag and what you say about them. Sometimes you just got to move on and just talk about the things that you like about Robert and just leave them out of the conversation. Sometimes you just got to do that. You just got to do that because you're not making it better for him when you're on YouTube, knowing that this is a government, okay, site, that this is something that they are listening to, they are watching you. And when they want to use something against Robert, they're going to pull your video up and make and study in your video and the things you're saying and know how to twist those words around. So be very careful about what you share on YouTube or on social media around Robert Sylvester Kelly. I would say talk of the good things that you like about his music, talk of the good things that you know about him, and even talk about share some of those good moments that you was doing certain things during the time you was listening, like I'm sharing. Good morning, good morning. No, my voice is kind of deep. Well, I just woke up 100 true. No, I'm not a trend. I'm all 100% woman, but at least you're asking. Thank you. So, you never know these days, right? But anyway, so like I was saying, you just got to be very careful about what you share here on YouTube and when you're talking about him, even if you're upset about something and you feel people should have this information. Not everybody should have this information. If you can share that with somebody in private, or you can, well, anyway, so like I was saying, y'all, here this morning and everything, just be careful of what you share in the public about this man's trial right now. Even though you want to do a good thing, it may sometimes not be in favor of Robert. So you please be careful. All right. Just be careful. And I know you want to do what you can to support and to help him during this time right now he's going through. You know, yeah, so just be careful about what you speak on in the public, okay? If you feel sometimes a little frustrated and you feel a little upset or down about this whole situation, Just tune off the YouTube channel, turn off your social media or whatever. In turn, you could turn your social media off or whatever. Take yourself some time out and just pray. Just pray. That's the best thing you can do is just keep your mind lifted in Jesus because some people are just looking to take whatever good you mean to turn it into evil. So you must be very careful of using your words on this internet. Even myself, I'm not only just talking about you. That's why sometimes when I'm not feeling right about something and some things are going through on in my mind, things I would like to say, but I don't say it on the sake of I don't want to put false information out there. And I just also don't want anything else to go against Robert while he's going through this trial in his life. That's all I wanted to come here to say this morning to you also. Please be careful what you listen to, what you run with, or whatever. I did mention in somebody's live yesterday that's not true. And I was just only just saying it could be true, but I don't think people should be following it and putting it out there. Because right now is really not the time to be talking of these things because they're gonna use whatever you saying against him. So you have to. No, I haven't. No, sir, or ma'am, or whoever you are, because you don't have a picture up of yourself. But what I'm saying is, you have to be very careful about what you're saying about this person. We're fighting for his freedom right now, or the things we want to make it sound like him sound more like a human being and not like a monster. So you have to set that example for him. You have to stand in the gap for him. So you have to put your personal feelings aside, and you have to allow, you know, his spirit to speak or allow God to be in front of you. You know what I'm saying? To know what you got to say. Today is Sunday, so let's do that today. Let's proceed with caution today. Even people going to put, content out there, dragging Robert Sylvester Kelly saying derogatory things to bait you into some kind of combative conversation about against what they feel he did wrong and saying whatever they want to say. Let them talk because I feel this way. Whatever they speaking out there in the universe will eventually come back to haunt them. And I spoke on this sometime last week when I said evil lives here. You putting out bad information about somebody else and you speaking evil against somebody else's life, whether they guilty of a crime or not, you wasn't there, you don't know, you going by hearsay, whatever. And instead of you just like knowing the word of God and knowing how to forgive people and pray for folks. So those evil things can pass you by. Because not only are you praying for them, you also praying for yourself. Always remember that. So going after somebody's life and going out to drag somebody's reputation out there and to jump on the bandwagon of doing those type of things will eventually be meet you someday. You could be sleeping with your enemy. You don't know what child you gave birth to in this world to. And even if you're gonna say, "Well, I didn't have sons," what you got daughters. You have daughters. You don't know who your daughters might marry or who your daughter might give birth to. Sometimes it could skip over a generation and it can coming back to you through the next generation. And you're gonna wonder how he got like this. I did all of this and that for him, and he still go on and do these things. How could this happen to me? Because sometimes things have to come back to hurt your loved ones to order to hurt you. So be careful how you going out here calling this man a pedo and wishing all these bad things to happen to him because you don't, like I said, know who you sleeping with. You could be sleeping with the enemy, or you don't know what you gave birth to this world to. So that's why I try to speak good of even the worst people out there. I try to find something good to say about them and ask God for it to help and them through whatever they're going through. This somebody just got on my chat right now wanting to know if I'm a man or a woman, but that's something questionable today because you can't tell. You really can't tell. 100% true. I never said people can't have an opinion. I just said people can have an opinion, but you got to use your words wisely. You have to be careful what you use on this internet and what you say to people on this internet. I'm not trying to control nobody's mind, but I just want people to be aware of some things that they're doing, to take precaution. That's all I'm saying. And especially when you out here advocating to fight against the injustice being done to another human being, but you can't, you gotta know how to fight with wisdom. Be careful. And the reason I shared Evil Lives here, because I've seen some terrible things happen to some people in so-called marriages, and they didn't even know their spouse or whoever was living even a double life. I shared some of the programs, these dramatic this is a dramatic television program that comes on um TV, documents that come on TV, and I just shared some of the things that I watched, and I'd be like, wow, it doesn't surprise me, you know, and especially when people not walking with knowing the word of God in their life. They don't know God. It gets really crazy out here when you don't have a connection to the word of God and you don't connect with him to help you to see good from evil out here in this world discernment. 100% true. If you were listening to my chat, my live earlier, you would see while I explained to you why I support Robert Sylvester Kelly because I've been a fan of his music for over 30 something years. That's 30 something years of my life as well. He never done anything personally to me. So why should I stop supporting his music and then supporting him as well? Because I don't think nobody should have been treated the way he was treated by the justice system. I don't think nobody should have had a document made about their life before they even went to court and anything was proven to be true. And there was no police reports ever filed that these women were being um in this relationship where they were being abused or whatever. And I doubt if his money could have poured off all of this stuff because most of his money was not even controlled by him. If you listen to his testimony, he didn't even have any control over his own money. That wasn't his money. However way they was getting paid for doing what they were doing, it wasn't coming from Robert. And I'm just going to keep it as that. Okay, if you're not a fan, then that's okay. That's cool. You don't have to be a fan. I'm not begging you to be a fan. I'm just putting information out there to let people know there are some people that truly believe in his innocence, and I'm one of them. I am one of them. And who has been riding on his 30 years of his career or more since the time he made his first album all the way up until now. I've been listening to Robert Sylvester Kelly's music. And I've always enjoyed his great music, his great gifts and talents and everything else, and went to concerts. Well, first of all, I explained this many a times. If it was my daughter, she would have had a behind in school, working on her future, her education, and she would have not been running across town chasing after no superstar. And even if she did do that, then I wouldn't be out here making no big deal about it because then I would know that my daughter made the choices she made, and I did the job that I had to do as a parent to try to guide her in the right direction of her future. But if this is what she chooses to do with her life, then it's nothing else I can do about it. I'm not going to be mad at the man either, especially when she came and gave fake ID. Long as my daughter lived through the experience, learned from the experience, and moved the fuck on, I ain't got a problem with it. He ain't ruin your life, especially when I already taught you right from wrong anyway. But that's a choice that you have made. And as far as for my sisters or whatever choices they make with they cootie cat and with their bodies is their choice. Long as I teach you along the way what you should and should not do, and being in Say what you wanna say, okay? I don't sound like no weak parent. I think I sound very, using the right parenting skills and the right giving the right kind of information to help those along the way who are parents, young mothers, young fathers out there. When you bring life into this world, that human being into this world to mold and to shape their life, you used to be on top of them for whatever areas in their life they need you for. Okay, from infants all the way up into adult life. And some things, some children just make choices on their own. It may not be the best choice, but it's a choice that they made for themselves. I would not encourage my young daughter to go out and chase after any man, point blank, period, whether he's R. Kelly or he's just a regular Joe. I would not have encouraged my daughter to be out there giving herself away. I would be more interested in her getting herself, keeping her dignity, keeping her self respect, knowing her value, knowing her worth, regardless of who this man come and show. You didn't work in hard to get there with him. You didn't come along with him. So you make sure you get what you got for yourself to fall back on. You can't trust no man to always be your caregiver or to be there to be your sole supporter for the rest of your life. You have to get something going for yourself. So in case he get tired of your behind and he want to go on with and do something else with somebody else or whatever, you would be hurt, but you won't be hurting as much as these women are going back for 30 years to get revenge. I mean, come on, they should have been on moved on. That's because they wasn't doing nothing with themselves but laying on their back, using their bodies to manipulate and to get what they want and use men. Okay. They were groupies, they were running after R. Kelly, and R. Kelly. I have never been a groupie. Never. Never. I never followed a artist or anybody from state to state to watch them in concert. Never have I done that. Now, I have bought tickets to R. Kelly concert, me and my spouse or me and someone else that I may have been dating at the time, and we went to an R. Kelly concert because we enjoyed listening to R. Kelly music back then in those times. But as far as following him from state to state and willing to put out and do whatever, whatever, just to get in his bed and have sex with him and to get money from him, I have never been a groupie. Never. Okay. I have went to go. I've there's plenty of artists that I like out there, female artists, male artists, whatever. And I have never been a groupie. I like Lauren Hill. I like Jill Scott. I like female artists that I like out there. A whole slew of them, but Erica Badu, whatever. But you ain't never see me jumping on the bandwagon or going all over town looking for them to to um to hook up with them and to get into their entourage or anything. No. Mm-mm. I enjoy the music. I enjoyed the work, the gift, and everything else the talent that they have and everything. And I'm messing. That's right. I'm fighting for R. Kelly. I don't know nothing about no evidence. 100 true. I'm going to continue to defend him. Yeah, I'm a diehard fan. Yes, I am because I'm defending me as well. If you want to know the truth. I just explained to you the years that and everything that I put in for as a listener to R. Kelly music and as a concert goer to his concerts and everything. The shows he put on are phenomenal, awesome shows. But I'm gonna have to get ready, y'all. I just wanted to come here real quickly and just do a recap. Not really a recap, but just to say welcome to all my new subscribers that joined my channel. Subscribe to my channel. I may come back on later on in the afternoon with you guys. Um and the thing is that I'm going to continue to support Robert Sylvester Kelly. I'm going to use um my words, try to use my words, okay, kinder while I'm here, sweet and kind. And I'm also going to try to control my conduct while I'm out here. So I just wanted to just bring that to your attention today. If I'm going to speak on it to you, I also have to act accordingly for myself. Like I said, be careful what we talk about here on YouTube, even when people are trying to provoke us. Like I got somebody right now in my chat trying to provoke me, but I'm just letting them talk and just let them say what they got to say. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be convinced or have to, you know, feel that way. I already shared it and I'm not going to share it again of why I am supporting Robert Sylvester Kelly in this fight against the injustice he was served and the overreach that the government did, giving him 30 years of a sentencing, and also trying to tell some of his supporters and the fans to, beware because people going to come and try to get you, knock you off your square. People going to try to have you talking crazy out of your head and using offensive language and breaking down here because I said what we doing is that they watching us how we present ourselves is how they gonna what they going to use against Robert Sylvester Kelly. And what we using out here on these YouTube channels, even though we out here to support him and to advocate for him, be careful of what you share. And be careful what you follow when somebody else share it. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to talk about Greenberg, even though I don't know what they working on behind the scene with that. So I'm not going to speak on it because right now this is not the time to speak on that. He still have a trial that's coming up in Chicago, so be careful, tread light. Be careful. Proceed with precaution, okay? I'm not going to speak on anything else on his legal issues. Just waiting up for the trial to come and what we could follow from there. I'm not going to even call up the who are going to be called to the witness stand to testify for him or against him. I'm not going to get into that conversation right now because I think that's some information that should not be shared right now in the public. The trial hasn't even started yet, and they already putting information out there. And you're not helping Robert Sylvester Kelly. You are giving information for the prosecutors. So be careful what you share. And that's all I'm going to say for now. This is Sunday. Have a happy and blessed Sunday. If God's willing, I may not come back with you this afternoon. I just want to come down here real quickly and just chit chat with you a little bit. Put a little bug in your ear. For some of you that don't know, I'm being very careful not to come on here and talk on certain things. So I love you guys. So you all have a blessed and wonderful Sunday. And if God's willing, I'll be back this afternoon. Peace.